Have you ever said that you wanted to support more Christian owned businesses? I have, but there's a very practical problem with that statement. How do you support a Christian owned business if you don't know it exists? Think about it. You need an accountant. There may be an excellent Christian accountant 20 minutes away from you, but you've never heard of her. Your church needs somebody to repair its HVAC system. There may be a Christian owned HVAC company servicing your exact area, but nobody at the church knows the owner. Your business needs a graphic designer. A Christian designer may be sitting at home right now trying to figure out where his next client is coming from, while you're searching the internet trying to figure out who to hire. One person has a need, another person has the ability to meet that need. And yet, no transaction happens because the two people don't know each other exist. That's not necessarily a money problem, that's a connectivity problem. And I think Christian business owners need to have a serious conversation about connectivity. Hey there, welcome back to Kingdom on Wall Street, where we talk about faith, business, stewardship, and what it really looks like to build what God has placed in your hands. If you're a Christian entrepreneur, business owner, or you're simply trying to become more disciplined and intentional with your kingdom assignment, you're in the right place. Before we get into today's conversation, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you valuable new content 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, as we build an ongoing conversation around kingdom business, entrepreneurship, stewardship, and purpose. Subscribing to this channel is by far the easiest way to stay connected. Now, let's get into it. I want to start by making something very clear. When I talk about Christians supporting Christian owned businesses, I am not saying that you should do business with somebody simply because they're a Christian. Being a Christian does not automatically make somebody a good plumber. It doesn't make somebody a competent accountant. It doesn't make somebody an honest contractor. It doesn't make somebody a talented designer. And it certainly doesn't mean that we should lower our standards because somebody shares our faith. Actually, I think the opposite should be true. If we're going to represent Christ through business, then excellence, integrity, honesty, service, and stewardship should matter tremendously. So this isn't about blind support. It's about creating the opportunity for consideration. If I have 3 qualified companies to choose from, and one of them is a Christian-owned business doing excellent work, I would at least like the opportunity to know that company exists. Right now, we often don't even have that opportunity. And that's what I want to talk about today. Here are 5 reasons Christian businesses need to know each other exist. Number 1, asterisk, asterisk, visibility creates choice. Asterisk, asterisk. This is the foundation of everything else we're going to talk about. You cannot choose an option you don't know exists. Let's make this very practical. Imagine that you're opening a restaurant. You need signage, you need insurance, you need a point of sale system, you need somebody to build your website, you need an accountant, you may need an attorney, you need food suppliers, you need cleaning services, you may need pest control, you may need somebody to service your refrigeration equipment, you may need a photographer, you may need somebody to produce menus, you may need uniforms, you may need security. One business can create demand for 10, 20, 30 other businesses. Now, imagine that you're a Christian entrepreneur and you genuinely like to consider other Christian owned businesses for some of those needs. Where do you start? You might ask people at church. You might post on social media. You might search Google and hope somebody's website happens to mention that they're Christian owned. But that's inefficient. And because it's inefficient, eventually you're probably going to do what everybody does. You're going to search for the service you need and choose from the businesses you can find. That's why visibility matters. It creates choice. I'm not telling you who you have to choose. I'm saying you should have the opportunity to know your options. And this works in both directions. Maybe you're the person searching, but maybe you're the business that's currently invisible. There could be people right now who would love to hire somebody exactly like you. They simply don't know you're there. That's why being good at what you do isn't enough. People have to be able to find you. Number two, asterisk, asterisk. Visibility creates referrals. Asterisk, asterisk. This one is powerful because the person who discovers your business may never become your customer. And that doesn't mean the connection was worthless. Let's say I meet a Christian photographer. I don't need photography right now. So if we evaluate that connection only through the question, did Starkey buy something? Then nothing happened. But 3 weeks later, somebody tells me they're planning an event and they need a photographer. Now I know somebody. That's a referral. And referrals move through relationships. Think about how many times somebody has asked you, do you know somebody who does this? Do you know a mechanic? Do you know a realtor? Do you know somebody who does taxes? Do you know a good barber? Do you know a contractor? Do you know somebody who can build a website? Do you know somebody who caters? People ask these questions constantly, and usually we recommend whoever comes to mind first. That's why knowing each other matters. A Christian business owner doesn't necessarily need everybody they meet to become a customer. Sometimes they just need to become memorable enough that somebody knows who to mention when an opportunity appears. And this is something I think we sometimes misunderstand about networking. Networking isn't walking into a room trying to sell something to everybody. That's exhausting. Good networking is relationship infrastructure. I know what you do, you know what I do, I know what you're good at, you know what I'm good at, and when an appropriate opportunity appears, we know who might be able to help. That's much more human than treating everybody like a lead. People are not leads, they're people. And sometimes the greatest value of a business relationship doesn't appear until months or years after the introduction. Number three, asterisk, asterisk. Visibility creates partnerships. Asterisk, asterisk. Now we're moving beyond customers and referrals. Sometimes the person you need isn't somebody who needs to buy from you, it's somebody who can build with you. Let's say you're a general contractor and you meet a skilled electrician. That's potentially more than a customer relationship. You may be able to pursue work together. Maybe you're a wedding planner and you meet a florist, photographer, caterer, and event venue owner. Those relationships can create an ecosystem. Maybe you're a software developer and meet somebody who understands sales extremely well. Maybe you're a nonprofit leader and meet a business owner with resources your organization needs. Maybe you're a small company that cannot handle a large contract alone, but another company has complementary capacity. Together, you may be able to pursue something neither business could handle independently. This is why isolation can become expensive. When every Christian entrepreneur is building alone, everybody has to rediscover the same information. Everybody has to find the same resources. Everybody has to make the same mistakes. Everybody has to build every relationship from scratch. Connectivity changes that. And I want to be clear about something else. Partnership does not mean abandoning due diligence. Please don't hear Christian partnership and think that means you don't need contracts. Use contracts, put agreements in writing, define responsibilities, understand who owns what, understand how money is distributed, understand what happens when something goes wrong. Pray and read the contract. Those things are not opposites. Trust does not require administrative irresponsibility. Actually, clear expectations can protect relationships. The goal is not informal business because we're Christians. The goal is excellent business between people who understand that their conduct has implications beyond the transaction. Number four, asterisk, asterisk. Visibility creates employment and opportunity. Asterisk, asterisk. This is where the conversation gets much bigger than business owners supporting other business owners. Businesses employ people, and employment affects households. Imagine a Christian owned company is growing and needs 5 employees. At the same time, there are Christians in that same region looking for work. One side has opportunity, the other side has need. Again, the problem may simply be connectivity. Now, I'm not suggesting that a Christian business should hire somebody simply because that person is Christian. Qualifications still matter, character matters, capability matters, the requirements of the job matter. But wouldn't it be useful for those people to at least have a way of discovering each other? And employment isn't the only opportunity. Think about internships, apprenticeships, mentorship, contract work, freelance opportunities, vendor opportunities, business partnerships, investment opportunities, volunteer opportunities. There are many forms of economic connection besides a customer buying a product. That's why I think we have to expand our understanding of what a Christian business network could actually mean. We're not just talking about a directory where you find a restaurant. We're talking about infrastructure that helps people discover capacity. Who knows something? Who needs something? Who can do something? Who is hiring? Who is building? Who needs a partner? Who has an opportunity? Who needs an opportunity? When those answers become easier to find, people become easier to connect. And those connections can change lives. A business owner finding the right employee matters, but that employee finding the right opportunity matters just as much. Number five, asterisk, asterisk. Visibility can help resources circulate through the community. Asterisk, asterisk. Now we finally get to money, but notice that money is number five. That's intentional because money follows the relationships, products, services, labor, and value we've already been talking about. Suppose you spend $100 with a Christian owned business. What happens to that $100? The business owner may use part of it to pay an employee. The employee uses some of that income to buy groceries. The business may use some of the revenue to pay a local accountant. That accountant may hire another company. The owner may tithe. The business may support a nonprofit. The company may eventually hire another employee. The point isn't that every dollar magically stays within some closed Christian loop. That's neither realistic nor necessarily desirable. Businesses operate in broader economies. The point is that commerce creates capacity. Revenue allows businesses to serve, to hire, to purchase, to invest, to give, to grow. And if Christian businesses don't know each other exist, we lose opportunities to create those economic relationships intentionally. But here's where I want to bring the conversation back to people. A stronger Christian economy isn't ultimately about seeing how much money Christians can accumulate. If that's our objective, we've missed the point. The purpose of economic capacity is what that capacity allows people to do. Businesses can create dignified work. They can solve problems. They can support families. They can train young people. They can fund ministry. They can support churches. They can serve communities. They can create products people need. They can provide services that improve people's lives. They can help somebody who needs an opportunity become somebody who can eventually create opportunities for others. That's multiplication. And that's why I think Christian business connectivity deserves more attention. But there is another side of this conversation that Christian business owners need to hear. If you want people to support your business, asterisk, asterisk, give them something worth supporting. Asterisk, asterisk. Your faith cannot become your competitive advantage while excellence becomes optional. If you're consistently late, fix it. If your customer service is terrible, fix it. If your prices are unclear, fix it. If you don't return calls, fix it. If your work is sloppy, fix it. If you make promises you can't keep, stop making them. If you make a mistake, own it. If you owe somebody money, handle it responsibly. If you employ people, treat them like human beings. If a customer trusts you with their money, respect that trust. If you put Christianity at the center of your business identity, understand the weight of what you're communicating. Because now people aren't only evaluating your company, fair or unfair, some people are going to associate their experience with your profession of faith. That's serious. So when I say Christians should have more opportunities to support Christian businesses, I'm simultaneously saying Christian businesses should be committed to becoming businesses worthy of that support. Community and accountability have to coexist. And there's another practical responsibility. Asterisk, asterisk, stop hiding your business. Asterisk, asterisk, some of us pray for customers and then make ourselves almost impossible to find. No website, incomplete business profile, no clear description of what we do, no contact information, no follow up. Social media page hasn't been updated in 11 months. Nobody knows whether we're still operating. Then we wonder why the phone isn't ringing. Visibility is part of stewardship. If you've been entrusted with something that genuinely helps people, those people need a reasonable way to discover that help. You don't have to become an influencer. You don't have to dance on TikTok. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars every month on advertising. But people should be able to answer three basic questions. Who are you? What do you do? And how do I reach you? That's a baseline. Now, let me give you something practical to do after this video. I want you to identify 5 Christian owned businesses. Not 5 businesses you want something from, 5 businesses you genuinely want to know. Learn what they do. Save their contact information, follow their business page if they have one, and if appropriate, introduce yourself. No sales pitch required. Just build the relationship, then do something else. Ask yourself whether your own business is easy for another Christian to discover. If somebody wanted exactly what you sell today, could they find you? Would they understand your offer? Would they know where you operate? Would they know how to contact you? Would they know that your business is Christian owned? If that's an identity you're comfortable making public? If the answer is no, that's something you can improve. And that brings me to something we're building. It's called Ellen Tren. Ellen Tren is a platform we're building to strengthen connection across the Christian community between individuals, businesses, churches, professionals, job seekers, employers, partners, and opportunities. And Ellen Trin is new. I want to keep saying that because I'm not interested in pretending we're something we're not. We're building this community from the ground up. That means if you're waiting until everybody else gets there before you join, you're missing the opportunity to be one of the people who helps create the network in the first place. If you're a Christian business owner, I want your business represented. If you're an entrepreneur, I want you connected. If you're a Christian professional, I want you there. And if you believe Christians should have better infrastructure for finding one another, don't just agree with the idea, participate in it. Go to ellen-tren.com and register. That's asterisk, asterisk, ellen-tren, com asterisk, asterisk. The link is also down in the description. Create your personal profile. And if you own a business, create your business profile as well. We're building the network right now. And every legitimate Christian business that joins makes the platform more useful for the next person who comes looking. But before you go, I want to hear from you because I think the conversation in the comments can be just as valuable as the video itself. So tell me what you think. Asterisk, asterisk. First, when you need a product or professional service, do you currently make any effort to find Christian owned businesses? If you do, how do you find them? Second, what has been the biggest obstacle you've experienced when trying to connect with other Christian business owners? Visibility, trust, quality, geography, lack of a network, or something completely different? Asterisk, asterisk, and asterisk, asterisk third. If we could improve one thing about how Christian entrepreneurs support, refer, hire, and collaborate with one another, what do you think would make the biggest difference? Asterisk, asterisk. Put your answers down in the comment section. And don't just answer for me. Read some of the other comments. If somebody mentions a challenge you've already solved, help them. If somebody owns a business that interests you, connect with them appropriately. If somebody shares an insight you hadn't considered, build on the conversation because that's really what we're talking about today. We can't build community while everybody remains a stranger, somebody has to introduce themselves first. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.